Ray Graydon's Walsall were tipped to go straight back down, but the Saddlers are just managing to keep their heads above water. They'll have their work cut out tonight, though. Since November, Alan Kirbishley's Charlton have been unstoppable. There's Premiership quality throughout the spine of a team that's won 11 league games in a row and is surely on course for a swift return to the promised land.
From him into the path of Andy Hunt, and this time he scores! Again, Larusson! Oh, that's an outstanding goal!
It certainly looks that way as they go in search of their 12th win on the spin. Will they continue to march in the right direction tonight, or drift off course, rather as Alan Kirbishley has in the maze of corridors underneath the main stand? Well, Charlton are now just 3 short of equalling the records of Manchester United, Bristol City and Preston, who all won 14 in a row a long time ago now. But they'll be aware that the likes of Bolton, Birmingham and Huddersfield have all come to the Bescot Stadium and lost this season, and Walsall will be up for it tonight, having moved clear of the bottom 4 at the weekend. Live on Sky Sports 2 with interactive coverage for Sky Digital viewers on channel 404, Sky Sports Extra. Can the runaway leaders be derailed? Good evening. Walsall proved that they can match the best at Main Road 10 days ago when they took a point off Manchester City, so this is by no means a foregone conclusion. Mind you, the general consensus is that no one can now stop Charlton. Ray and Nigel have already said as much. But Ray, I suppose a defeat tonight and a slip-up at Manchester City in 10 days' time, and there'll be hope again for the chasing pack.
Most certainly, but Charlton certainly do look a forceful outfit, Marcus, and it's going to take one hell of an effort from Walsall to get anywhere near them, I feel, anyway. When a side's playing with so much confidence, gone so many games, they've won 10 away league games this season, only lost 3. Tonight is going to be a tough old outing for Walsall.
Mind you, there's still everything to play for as far as the Saddlers are concerned, Nigel.
Yeah, good draw away at Man City and then a home win against Grimsby. They've still got a fighting chance there, Marcus, but it's going to be tough for them. But I think they're doing better than most people expected this time. But Crew keep winning and teams around them keep winning, so they must try and get something out of this game tonight.
Let's have another look at the bottom of the First Division. I think we're all in agreement that Swindon are going down, barring the greatest miracle of all time.
Unfortunately, yes. But we always say, Marcus, when a side gains promotion, the most important thing the following season is their home form. And we've got Walsall here, only won 5 games at home this season. That really isn't good enough, and that's where they need to pick up the majority of their points, on their home form.
Of course, West Brom into the bottom 3 and without a manager. How serious a situation do they find themselves?
Well, they're in major problems, haven't they? I mean, Brian Little's gone, and you don't know what's going on behind the scenes there. They need somebody to go in there and steady the ship. They've got 12 games to try and get out of the relegation zone, and it's all very, very tight in there. Most probably all the way up to Nottingham Forest, who have put a couple of good wins together. But I think Grimsby are most probably out of it. But from Forest down, they've still got a chance of being relegated, and there's everything to keep playing for, and that's why Walsall need to get something out of this game. But for West Brom, whoever goes in there, they've got a fight on their hands.
They certainly have. Up top, there's a fight for the playoff places still. We've got Blackburn live on Sunday against Crewe. They're playing Ipswich tonight. Where do you draw the cut-off line there as far as the contenders are concerned, Ray?
I think it's difficult, Marcus, with so many points to play for, I've got to say. QPR performed exceptionally well against Sheffield United at the weekend. I would say the majority of those guys have got half a chance if they can put a good run together, and that's winning runs. That's not undefeated runs. That's winning runs.
Yeah.
Up top, Charlton at the moment 10 points clear of Manchester City, with Ipswich, Barnsley, Birmingham and Huddersfield in the other positions that clubs want to be in at the moment. Busy night in the First Division tonight. Birmingham, 5th at the moment, play Portsmouth in 21st. Crewe Port Vale, that is a crucial game, down at the bottom of the table. Crystal Palace against Bolton. Fulham are at home to Stockport. It's Grimsby against Wolves. Ipswich, Blackburn. Really tough one for Blackburn, but they have to get something from Portman Road. Sheffield United are playing Barnsley, a South Yorkshire derby, which means so much to those spectators, no matter what's at stake. Swindon, the bottom side, playing Huddersfield, and West Brom against Tranmere, and we'll show you some of the goals from some of those games later on in the programme. Well, at the start of the season, Charlton were one of the favourites to go straight back up to the Premiership, and it didn't take them long to get their noses in front. A first-half Greg Shields strike was enough to beat Birmingham at the beginning of October. That sent Charlton to the top for the first time this season, a position they've dominated ever since. Having been on loan from Fulham since August, John Salako completed a £150,000 move the day the Addicts travelled to Portman Road. They led 2-1 after 11 minutes, but second-half goals from David Johnson and Mick Stockwell proved decisive. Their next away game, a rematch with promotion-chasing Birmingham, also ended in defeat. Brian Hughes, the match winner for the Blues. They recovered to win their next 3 league games, at which point Alan Kirbishley signed Andy Todd from Bolton for $1 million. But he didn't feature in the home game against rivals Manchester City. The Valley's highest league attendance of the season saw Sean Gota decide the contest. Blackburn caused an upset at the Valley at the end of November, an Ashley Ward double bagging maximum points for Rovers. And that is the last time Charlton lost in the league. Boxing Day produced a derby win against Crystal Palace, Martin Pringle clipping the Eagles' wings. Two days later, the Sky Sports cameras were at the McAlpine Stadium to see Andy Hunt open the scoring. And John Robinson sealed victory in real style.
Again, Robinson! Oh, that's an outstanding goal!
Molyneux was the next port of call. Pringle was on target again. And Robinson put the game beyond Wolves' reach. Matias Svensson arrived from Crystal Palace for £600,000 2 days before the Addicts demonstrated their Premiership credentials by defeating Coventry in the 5th round of the FA Cup. Andy Hunt completing a dramatic comeback from 2 down. A spectacular Steve Brown strike crowned a 2-0 win against Wolves in February. And 3 days later, John Robinson was in the right place at the right time to capitalise on some poor Fulham defending. Sheffield United were the next visitors to Fortress Valley, which proved as impenetrable as ever. Robinson again causing all the problems with his 8th of the season. And on Saturday, Charlton extended their lead at the top to 10 points with their first win at Bolton in 45 years. Pringle with the first. And Hunt then weighed in with his 18th league goal to make him the division's joint top scorer. Well, the graph has remained buoyant throughout the season, and few expect it to deviate over the closing weeks. Their 23 league wins is more than anyone else in the country. Only Barnsley have scored more league goals. and only Manchester United, Wigan and Preston have lost fewer games. Some performance from the Addicts. Now, one of the reasons for their success, the form of Andy Hunt, Nigel, who last season only scored 7 goals in the Premiership. This year he's got 19, 18 in the league. He's the leading scorer in the First Division. I just wonder, though, is he one of the players that will struggle if they go back up again?
Well, you hope not. Hopefully the experience has done him good playing at that level, and that's why he's playing so well this season. Maybe he's learnt from that. But I think he had a lot of illness and injury last season, and obviously Clive Mendonca was playing up front with him, and Clive's been unfortunately out injured this year, and he's been up there with Pringle, he's been up there with Svensson, so he's continued to score the goals with whichever partner he's had. But he's lethal on that left foot, coming inside here, curling it. He's good in the air for his size as well, and leads the line very, very well and works hard.
125 goals in 359 career appearances. Premiership quality, right?
It's not bad, is it? I honestly think Marcus at 29 is probably coming into his best years now. He's probably gained all the experience that he needs. He's had that experience of the Premiership, and now he's doing exceptionally well. 19 goals this season, and a player full of confidence.
One or two of the players have been admitting in interviews this week that they were a little bit naive during their Premiership campaign last season. Can you see what they were getting at there?
Well, I think a lot of clubs are. You go back to Barnsley and you say, well, Barnsley had a terrible start to the season and finished the season reasonably well, and if they'd had a good start and got used to it, they might have stayed up, and that's the same for Charlton. But when you get in with the big boys, so to speak, in the Premiership, you've got to be prepared to not concede goals, and when you get a chance or a half chance, you've got to stick it away, and that's the thing at the highest level. You've got to take your half chances, but you've also got to make sure you're not conceding. In the First Division, it's a little bit easier. You know, maybe score 1 every 5 chances or 1 every 4 chances, but you can go 2-0 down and win 4-2. But in the Premiership, that doesn't happen, and I think they will be a better side when they go up this season, in the Premiership next season.
Of course, they are not up yet, and Alan Kirbishley will be the first person to remind us of that. Let's get all the team news now with Alan Bentley.
Marcus, in a word, both sides are unchanged. So if I may as well get straight on with it, if it's quite all right with you. So let's have a look at Walsall for you. I say both sides unchanged in the weekend. That means Walsall line up as follows: 3 in Brightwell and 5 Viachos. They've both been on loan from Manchester City and Portsmouth respectively. Both those deals have just been made permanent. The Greek international Viachos is part of a cosmopolitan midfield which includes the new Hungarian international Gabor Bukran at 26 and 27 Pedro Matias, a Spaniard who had 6 years at Real Madrid. Another import, well, that's number 11 Diego Padula. Now, he's an Argentinian with an Italian passport. He has started the last 17, though he has yet to score. Now, like Bukran, he came from Jerez. And up front, with Andy Rowell injured, 13, top scorer Michael Ricketts at 22, with veteran Mark Robins wearing 8. Robins still best remembered for his 6 years at Old Trafford. He's on 48 career league goals, scored this one at the weekend. As for Charlton Athletic, well, as I say, the song remains the same. Kealy in goals, a summer capture from Bury. 5 Richard Rufus has 5 goals this season after just 1 previously in his career. 3 Chris Powell was never present in the Premiership. 4 Graham Stuart, he was sent off against Bolton earlier in the season after a fight with Andy Todd. And as we've seen, he's since joined Charlton but is injured at the moment. And the goal threat, well, predominantly it comes from that man Andy Hunt. 11 John Robinson, a look at him, he makes his 250th league appearance. His 19 caps for Wales represent a joint club record. 8 goals this season, including a cracker against Huddersfield. You may remember he's overcome a foot injury to play. And alongside Hunt, 33 Matias Svensson, we've just seen him. A recent £600,000 buy from Crystal Palace. Scored for them against Walsall this season. 9 goals for Palace, yet to register though for Charlton. Will he get off the mark today? And he's keeping fellow Swede Martin Pringle out of the side. Well, I don't mean to hurry you, Marcus, but the Charlton players are all waiting to go out, so back to you.
Well, we can't keep them waiting at all. Thanks very much, Alan. 7:45 kick-off at the Bescot Stadium tonight. Now, it's your chance to vote for February's Nationwide Player of the Month after the break. As always, there are 8 contenders for you to mull over, including Bolton's Klaus Jensen, Adam Drury of Peterborough, Sheffield United's Marcus Bent, and Bristol Rovers' Jamie Curity. Nassim Hamid faces his biggest test on Saturday night against Vuani Bungu, the dangerous South African who's unbeaten in the last 8 years. Now, the hard-hitting lineup includes the Shamrock Express, Shay Neary and Steve Robinson. It's all on Sky Box Office from 8 o'clock. For more information, call 0990 800 888. That's 0990 800 888. Or if you're watching on Sky Digital, see channel 770 for details. Right now we're concentrating on Walsall and Charlton, bottom v top in the First Division. Fixtures between these two have been spread over a 73-year period. Walsall's last win came 26 years ago when Alan Buckley scored the only goal in an old Division 3 game. Charlton are unbeaten in their last 2 trips to Walsall, those in the days when they played at Fellows Park, of course. The most recent of those, November 1980, that finished 2-2. Steve Waddington and Steve Smith on target for the Saddlers, Paul Lazarus and Derek Hales for Charlton. Bookies are going with Charlton tonight, no real surprise. 6-4 on, Walsall 100-30, and the draw is 12-5. And if you want more facts and figures about tonight's game, you could check out the stat pack on Sky Sports online at skysports.com. OK, it is now time for you to vote for the Nationwide Player of the Month for February. As always, there are 8 contenders. Here they are. There we are, 8 worthy contenders. If you want to vote for Sean Goater, the number to ring is 09009 100 561, all the way down to Leo Fortune West, 09009 100 568. Now, the lines are open until midnight tomorrow. We'll name the winner in Thursday's Football League review, and the first prize is a VIP day out to present the award to the winning player at a forthcoming game. There are 10 runners-up prizes as well. Charlton's John Robinson, one of the contenders. He, of course, is playing tonight. He did pick up a foot injury at Bolton at the weekend. It hasn't prevented him from being included in the starting lineup, which is very good news as far as Charlton are concerned. Ray, he's come on a bundle since moving from Brighton, what, 8 years ago now?
Yeah, this guy gives credibility to the saying, works his socks off, because this fella really does work very, very hard indeed. No matter what side he plays on, probably play on the left-hand side tonight, but he works his socks off, and he's scored 8 goals this season already for them, and he really does work very, very hard. I love seeing this. A ball crossed in from one winger, and the other one nuts it in at the far post. I think it's a lovely little combination, that. We can see him once again. Going to get on the end of this. Yeah, there's another little poacher's goal, and we saw one just before as well. And he missed one against Bolton a couple of weeks ago in the Cup from a couple of...
That's right.
There he is again, finishing that one off. But he really does work very, very hard and deserves the success he's had.
Born in Zimbabwe, but a Welsh international, of course.
Yeah, but he was in and out of the side at the start of the season, Marcus. It's not until the last 10 games or so that he's actually had a good run in the side and playing very, very well. Graham Stewart's in there scoring goals in midfield. Mark Kinsella, they've got a nice balance about their team, and with Sean Newton on the right, getting forward with his pace, it gives John Robinson a chance to come in off that line and get in the box, as Ray says, at the back stick and stick the ball in the back of the net.
We've already spoken about Andy Hunt. Playing up front with him tonight is Matt Svensson, their recent signing from Crystal Palace. I know, Ray, you think that they've got him for an absolute bargain.
Yes, I do. I think he's a talented lad, and he's a good goal scorer as well. Scored 9 goals at the Palace. Very unfortunate for Stevie Coppell, the position he finds himself in, had to let him go for what I would say was a pretty meagre fee of £600,000. And we're going to see him score a couple of goals here, and the fella can score goals.
He's come back well from an injury as well, Ray, hasn't he? I think he had a nasty injury when he was at Palace. I think his spleen or something like that in a match where he's very brave in front of goal. Got injured, and he's come back very well from that. Did well at Portsmouth as well. Yeah, I think Terry Venables bought him.
Yeah, he's still looking for his first goal for Charlton.
Yeah, but he leads the line very well.
Won't take long, will it?
No, it won't. Maybe tonight.
Absolutely. OK, so much for their attacking options. At the back, in goal, Dean Kiely, who was outstanding for Bury last season. Remember, Bury went down. He still managed to keep 18 clean sheets, or 17 actually, according to that stat, plus one in a cup tie as well. And he's been added again this season for Charlton.
Well, 17 clean sheets, as the stat already shows, in 38 games this season. He's done exceptionally well. But playing in a winning side as well, Marcus, playing in a side full of confidence. I know last year, perhaps for Bury, he did keep 18 clean sheets, but it is a team effort. And I think the defenders need a lot of credit for that as well.
Yeah, let's get that right. He got 18 clean sheets last season, 17 so far this season. The main point is he's kept an awful lot of clean sheets over the last season and a half.
But it's a team effort.
Yeah, he's not doing bad, is he? But I mean, he's had 4 clean sheets last 4 games, so he's doing very, very well. But the defenders in front of him, and to be fair, Charlton had to chop and change. Eddie Yowd's got injured. Brown's had to play at centre half, who's really a right back. But this team spirit there seems very, very good, and they all come in. Anthony Barness is playing at right back tonight. Greg Shields is out. They've had a lot of injuries, but they keep plugging away. And if they keep not conceding goals and scoring the other end, then they're going to maybe emulate what Sunderland did last season.
I think the thing with him, Marcus, last year he's had 2 different seasons. Last year, playing with Bury, probably the goal was peppered with shots, so he's been making saves every 2 seconds. This year, he probably hasn't had too much to do, and his concentration level's been exceptionally good.
Well, I hope we haven't got you into a muddle with all our stats about clean sheets. Alan Kirbishley is currently talking to his players. We won't hear from him. Instead, we can hear from the first-team coach, another former goalkeeper, of course, Mervyn Day. He's with Alan Bentley.
Mervyn, around the time of the Huddersfield game, Alan Kirbishley said you were playing well without necessarily winning. What's changed since then?
We're winning and not necessarily playing well. No, we've got the habit at the moment of grinding out results. We've kept clean sheets, I think, in a number of games in that period. And we've been managed to nick a goal at the other end, which obviously is all important.
Hand on heart, do you think you're home and hosed in terms of the title?
No, nowhere near. when we get to a situation where no one can catch us, then you might say you're home. But no, there's a lot to play for. There's still teams on good runs, Manchester City, Ipswich, Barness on a good run, Birmingham on a good run. They can all catch us. No, one game at a time. I'm sorry it's boring, but that's the way it is.
How do you go about keeping the players' feet on the ground, though?
We don't need to. They're very, very good. They know what's at stake. They're fully focused, and they are taking it one game at a time, which is what you've got to do. It might be boring, but unfortunately, that's the situation.
And a word on tonight. How aware are you that some big guns have fallen here this season?
Well, Walsall played really, really well at our place, and we're a little bit unlucky, in all honesty, to lose 2-1. So we're under no illusions. It's going to be a really tough game. It's a tight ground, really interesting atmosphere. No, we're ready for a really tough one.
Thanks a lot, Mervyn. Cheers.
Mervyn Day keeping everybody's feet firmly on the ground. Well, it has been a struggle for Walsall this season, but there have been some moments to cherish as well. Before Walsall's live game against Birmingham in October, they'd only managed one win all season, but Andy Rammell's goal changed that.
Cross from Wrack, had Johnson in trouble, and it hits the bar. Matias, and surely this time, and it is Andy Rammell.
And a week later, it was Rammell again with the all-important strike, this time against local rivals West Brom, as the Saddlers recorded their first back-to-back victories. 3 days later, it looked as though the run might continue at Portsmouth, Darren Wrack's goal giving them the lead. But a terrific Pompey comeback saw them score 5, Lee Bradbury netting his first for the club. 6 games without a win followed before second-placed Huddersfield visited the Bescot Stadium. Mark Robins scored after only 7 minutes to secure 3 valuable points for Ray Graydon's side. It was another 5 games before they recorded only their 5th win of the season. Pedro Matias' last-minute strike adding to Michael Ricketts' earlier effort to beat Bolton. Another home win followed, this time against the resurgent Sheffield United. Robins with the late strike to make it 2-1. And the Saddlers went on to make it 3 consecutive wins, this time at struggling Crewe. Kevin Harper, on loan from Derby, scored the goal of the game as Walsall hit 3 for the first time this season. It was 5 games without defeat before the relegation 6-pointer against Nottingham Forest, when Dougie Freedman danced around the home defence to score the second and end Walsall's best run of the campaign. A promotion-chasing Manchester City, the visitors stunned the home crowd just before half-time when Matias' deflected shot beat Nicky Weaver. But Sean Goder popped up with his 23rd of the season late on to secure a point for City. On Saturday, against Grimsby, Mark Robins' goal proved the difference between the sides. 3 more precious points as the survival battle continues. Well, they've been in murky waters throughout the season, but that win against Grimsby took them out of the bottom 4 for the first time since October. Only Swindon, Portsmouth and Crewe have lost more, and only Swindon, Palace and Grimsby have conceded more, but they have only lost 2 of their last 9. We can have a word with their manager now. Ray Graydon is talking to Alan Bentley.
Ray, we'll touch on tonight in a moment, but first of all, how do you assess your current position?
Well, I think we've got a chance. Since the turn of the new year, we've won 4 games and we've got a couple of draws, and it's lifted everybody around the club. Because it was looking as though, if we'd have gotten a bad run from that time, we could have been in serious trouble. Now, I know we've still got plenty to do, and the players are ready for that, but if we hadn't have had this little run, then we could have been in a very difficult position.
It's a heck of a task tonight. How do you go about succeeding where the previous 11 sides have failed against Charlton and winning, let alone drawing?
Well, I make sure everybody gets up out of the right side of bed, and the players come in nice and bright. We're prepared for the game. We know all about Charlton. We know what a good run they're on, and very likely promotion team. They look as though they're going to walk away with it at the minute, but I'm sure Alan Kirbishley will be saying no, that's not the case. We know that they'll be a very difficult team to beat. They're really full of confidence. But I've got 11 players with football shirts on who are prepared to have a right crack at it. They're fit, they're in good spirit, and they're ready to have a go at it.
Do you take heart from your performance at the Valley?
Well, we did play well there, and to be perfectly honest, I'd say it has a little bearing on the game tonight, because Charlton were a bit edgy, but the stats told me that we outpassed them there, and we did play particularly well. They're away from home tonight, and they're in a different vein of form. So it'll be a different game, and I hope it'll be a different outcome.
Thanks a lot, Wrack. Cheers.
Pleasure.
He's always calm and relaxed. They lost that game 2-1, by the way, but he's a very reassuring figure to have, isn't he, at this stage of the season?
That's to be said, Mark, is that he's done a magnificent job ever since he's been there, getting promotion last year, spending about, I don't know, 150,000, if that. This year I don't think he's had anything to spend, but they're still in there with a fighting chance to stay up. And if they can stay up, then hopefully build on something from there. But it's going to be tough, but he's done a good job. He seems nice and placid and gets the best out of his players. Very well organised.
One of their success stories this season has been young Michael Ricketts, still only 21 years of age. He scored 9 goals. Wants to leave the club, though, which obviously isn't quite what the fans and the manager himself wanted.
Bit of a shame, really, isn't it? You know, they're giving him a chance to play, and all of a sudden he wants to leave. He's obviously showed a little bit of ambition, but it's a little bit of a shame that he wants to leave Ray in a situation where he finds himself in a bit of difficulty, and now he wants to up and leave. But if you're ambitious, you probably want something a little bit better, Marcus.
Mark Robbins, of course, up front as well. He's popped up with a few goals. Here's a bit of Mr. Ricketts in action before we talk about Robbins. Plenty of pace and has scored some very spectacular goals, Nigel.
And only 21. I'm sure there will be clubs looking at him. But hopefully, if he does go, then Walsall will get a good payday. I know they won't want to lose him, but he obviously finds the back of the net. He's a big lad, 6'2", and leads the line well.
And some experience in Mark Robbins, who's had that nomadic career for so many years. But
yeah, he has.
He's
drifted around,
settled.
Marcus, hasn't he? He's drifted around, but he's scored goals wherever he's been, and he scored a good goal at the weekend. So he'll be looking to capitalise on that. But somehow I still think it's going to be a difficult night for him.
Yes, well, put your head on the block. Remember that Fulham aren't playing tonight, Ray?
Yeah, exactly. I've apologised for that already, Mark. I've got a bit of stick over there.
I bet you have. Who's going to win?
You've done me like a kipper. I've got to go for Charlton. I think Charlton are full of confidence, and it was interesting hearing Ray say his side are ready to have a go, but Charlton are full of confidence, and I'm sure they're prepared to have a go as well. So I'll go for Charlton.
Any chance of an upset, Nigel?
Maybe a draw for Walsall, but I think I've got to say the same as Ray. I think you've got to look and say that Charlton are the most consistent team in the league. That's why they're at the top at the moment. They've actually scored more goals away from home than they have at home, 32. Walsall are struggling, they've only scored 16 goals at home, so I think if you look at the stats, it's got to be a bit of a one-sided game. But I think with Ray and his team, they will try very, very hard. They're on a little mini run for them, so they need to get something out of the game, maybe get a point, but I have to say 3 points for Charlton.
OK, well, anything can happen. Don't forget, this game is, of course, interactive. Sky Digital Channel 404 gives you Sky Sports Extra and the latest addition to our interactive coverage, Player Cam, which gives you the opportunity to follow 6 different players during the match, so you can track your favourites all over the pitch. Remember to push the red button to access our interactive technology and see just what the stars of today put into a game. OK, it is time to join our commentators in the West Midlands, Alan Brazil and Rob Hawthorne.
So will Walsall be the team to curb Alan Kirbishley's seemingly relentless surge back to the Premiership? It's a tall order for Walsall to try and do what Charlton's last 11 opponents have failed to do and prevent them from winning. But as both teams come into this game off the back of wins, both are unchanged. So Mark Robbins, widely believed to have played on Saturday because of the controversial loss of Kevin Harper to Portsmouth, starts again. He's alongside Michael Ricketts, who's fanned the flames of supporters' discontent by announcing that he intends to leave at the end of the season when his contract expires. The back four looked solid at the weekend in the victory over Grimsby. It's been strengthened by the arrival of the former Manchester City man, Ian Brightwell.
Well, Ray Graydon, every game's important for him now. 4-4-2 his side line-up. James Walker in goal, Brightwell, Viveash, Barras and Padula on the left-hand side. In front of Padula, Pedro Matias, Viachos, Bukran and Wrack on the right-hand side. I think Wrack's important tonight for Walsall. And up front, Ricketts, and the goal scorer on Saturday, Little Robbins.
Charlton keep the starting 11 from Saturday's win over Bolton, despite the fact that it was substitute Martin Pringle who came on to score the first goal. So Matias Svensson, their recent acquisition from Crystal Palace, continues his search for his first goal since the move. Defender Richard Rufus and wide man John Robinson have shaken off minor knocks to take their places in the team.
Well, Mervyn Day was talking down Charlton. It's already over, but 10 points clear, 13 tonight for the win, and I think they should do. Kiely in goal, impressive Kiely. Barness, Rufus, Brown and Chrissy Powell left back. Right across the four across the middle. Newton with the pace on the right hand side. Kinsella's an excellent player. Watch for his long range striking tonight. Stuart, aggressive, busy. Robinson, always a threat on the left hand side. And up front, Svensson, the speed and aggressive type player, good player. And alongside him, 19 goals so far, Andy Hunt.
While there seems to be some life in Walsall's survival battle, there's still a fair bit of discontent here over the loss of Kevin Harper, who was with Walsall on loan, a successful loan period, but their inability to match the wages that Portsmouth were offering led to him making the move to Fratton Park, and in consequence leaflets have been handed out here tonight in protest against the club's owner Jeff Bonser. And as part of that protest, the fans are planning to burst these balloons at the precise moment that the teams take to the pitch. Ray Graydon, the Walsall manager, was given permission to match the fee that Portsmouth were offering to Derby, but it is the rocketing wages being demanded by players that pose clubs such as Walsall a real problem. Having said that, they've scraped by this season with quite a few loan players, some of whom haven't stayed. Thinking in particular of the likes of Tom Bennett, who did well during his time here, which was unbeaten before his move back to Stockport, where again he's featuring in the first team. Charlton haven't had those difficulties, although they have had to cope with their share of injuries this season. They've been lacking right back Greg Shields and influential defender Eddie Youds in recent times. But the good thing for Alan Kirbishley is that during their excellent recent unbeaten run, he's had a squad big enough and strong enough to cope, so that the players who've come in have done a manful job and the absences have almost gone unnoticed. Mark Kinsella will lead out this Charlton team, who are on such a great roll of form at the moment. There's a hint of rain in the air in the West Midlands as Charlton pay their first competitive visit to the Bescot Stadium. The last time they played Walsall in Walsall, it was at the old Fellows Park ground. But can the First Division leaders extend their lead, or can Walsall cause a real upset here tonight? Find out live after the break.
They're just about ready to go at the Bescot Stadium. Fifth from bottom against the leaders is an upset on the cards. It's back to Alan Brazil and Rob Hawthorne.
And the player cam for the first 15 minutes for viewers on Sky Sports Extra Channel 404 is Charlton captain and midfielder Mark Kinsella. Charlton in the change strip. Svensson and Graham Stuart to get the match underway for the league leaders, who've won their last 11 in a row since the goalless draw at Queen's Park Rangers in December, breaking their previous club record from 2 seasons ago when they got promoted. And with Walsall rivals and neighbours West Brom looking in more danger than Walsall themselves at the moment, the return of Andy Hunter, a bitter pill for the Albion fans to swallow while they're struggling, and he's at the top end of the table, having scored 19 goals this season for the Valiants. And of course West Brom let him go on a free transfer. Here's Wrack. Ian Brightwell. There's Brown. And Viachos tugging away with Graham Stuart.
I just feel Charlton, you know, when you top the table, Rob, you know that Walsall are fighting for their lives. They're at home in front of their own fans. Of course they're going to have a go at them, especially early on in this match.
Cleared by Barras. And Robinson putting the pressure on. He's a key player to Charlton. They were desperate to get him fit after he'd suffered that foot injury at the weekend, and the fact that he is fit makes this his 250th league appearance for the club tonight. Walsall with just 2 defeats in their last 9 league matches, one here against Nottingham Forest, the other away against Fulham. Here's Mark Robins, who got their winner at the weekend against Grimsby, and indeed has scored in 3 of their 5 league victories here. Brightwell with the throw. This is Hunt. It's Barras. Viachos. Here's Matias looking for the run of Padula. Now Bukran. This is Hunt. His local connections leading to the jeering for Andy Hunt on his return to this part of the world. Now Kinsella given away by him. And now Matias on the charge. Robins up ahead, Bukran lying a little deeper. Ricketts is at the left edge of the area. This is Wrack. And too short for Brightwell, and Robinson nips in. Back from Svensson. Charlton's recent success has depended upon defensive durability. They've made themselves a difficult side to beat in recent weeks. And they've gone over 7 hours since conceding their last goal to Stockport. And it would seem of Barras.
It's a clear handball, the linesman's right behind them. No reaction.
Rufus, now Newton. Barness. Walsall have shown a tendency to raise themselves for the big matches. 2 of the victories that they have achieved here have been against teams in the top 6, Birmingham and Huddersfield. But Charlton would be the most prized scalp of them all this season for Ray Graydon's men, who have shown commendable spirit when their backs have been against the wall. They can't afford to give possession away as cheaply as that. This is Hunt. Now Rufus.
See Charlton just trying to, a little bit of one touch, just keep the ball moving, try not to give it away. That's the confidence you have when you're top of the table.
Powell. Aaron Wrack up against him. Flick back was by Svensson. This is Hunt. And now Robinson peeling away into space. Svensson wanted the pullback. It was a gift for the goalkeeper, the cross.
John Robinson should be very disappointed. He had absolute oceans of space there. And to put it in the goalkeeper's arms is terrible. Svensson was just looking for the cutback, Rob, as you were saying. And that surely was the better option.
Has to be said, unusually wasteful from him.
Yeah, Hunt's done well. Look at Robinson, just goes into space. Look at the time he's got. And you think, right, he's just going to put this in with his left foot, comes back to his right, and that's shocking.
Well, he was obviously aiming for the run of Newton, but Newton was late arriving, and it was always going to be a hopeful ball, that one. It's Brightwell looking for Robins. Barness risking the header back to his goalkeeper. flick on by Svensson.
Viveash, good play, Rob, from Viveash, experienced player now. He's going to have his work cut out tonight.
Here's Padula, the Argentinian, part of this very cosmopolitan Walsall team that also includes a Hungarian, a Spaniard, and a former Greek international as well now in Blackburn, who's recently joined from Portsmouth. This is Brightwell, now Robbins.
This fella's important on the ball, Rob. You mentioned the Hungarian Bukran. If he gets in the ball, he's a good playmaker.
Walker hitting it against Svensson.
Yeah, Walsall look for this man to make them tick. Always, you know, clever on the ball, looking to just thread little balls through, especially for Ricketts.
Here's Ricketts. Robbins has stayed on the ground.
There's a few players around Robbins there, and this would be a blow. Robbins doesn't get involved too much in the build-up, but in the box, it's a dangerous little play. He sees a few elbows flying about, and one right across his face. Well, 6 of one, half a dozen the other to start with. But I just feel Robbins, well, Rufus has got to be very careful indeed.
There's a combative play by Robbins' opponent, Richard Rufus, who's recognised as one of the best in the division and didn't look out of place in their season in the Premiership either.
Just sometimes Richard Rufus, when he's in possession of the ball, that's where he lets himself down sometimes, his passing. But showing that he's got an aggressive touch to him, they're just checking Robbins' jaw, because that was right under the ear he caught him.
Ray Graydon, and on his right Paul Taylor, whom he credits with a lot of the good work in getting players in. No doubt the discipline and organisation which has been so crucial to Walsall is very much Graydon's sphere. Ricketts having been played through by Robbins.
Well, Brown, I think, was always getting there in front of Ricketts and just sort of held Ricketts off for Kiely to come. Good little flick from Robbins. Barras an issue with the head. A look at Brown there, just holding him off.
This is Hunt. Powell again. This is John Robinson in towards Newton.
Well, Charlton are definitely crisper passing the ball. You know, it's zip, 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 ping, ping, ping. If they can do it first time, they will do. Whereas Walsall, much more direct.
Their last defeat, Charlton, was actually back at the Valley in November. They've gone 13 unbeaten since then, and their last defeat on their travels was in the West Midlands, actually at Birmingham, to a goal from Brian Hughes. Here's Padula. This is Viachos. Rufus appealing that it had gone out.
It's right under the nose of the linesman as well.
Matias. On by Hunt, and this is Robinson. Well, he's shown his capabilities from long distance on plenty of previous occasions, John Robinson.
Well, why not? No one's closing him. Dan and Wrack does well to get back, but suddenly Robinson finds himself oceans of space and thinks, why not?
Scored a cracking goal that we saw live on Sky against Huddersfield over the Christmas holiday period. It was impressive how Charlton broke from defence then, and how impressively Kinsella linked it all up. Here's Andy Hunt. Stuart has moved out to his right, but he decided to have a crack, and it comes back off Viveash.
Yeah, going for the blockbuster. And when you're in, you know, good form, 19 goals, and the goals just looking at you, why not hit one if there's nothing better on? Here's Robinson. He's pulled this one behind Svensson, and Viachos put himself under pressure with the first touch, but Viveash tidies up.
good ball from Matias to give Ricketts something to chase onto and put the pressure on Rufus.
You have to say, Ricketts, you know, he's not good, you know, he's not genuinely blessed with tremendous pace. Brown has shown him a clean pair of heels, and now Rufus coming across quickly and getting there first.
Here's Padula with the throw. Back to him from Viachos.
Rob, there's definitely a Latin influence in this Walsall side, isn't there? Is it Latin or is it Geronimo down the left?
There's Barness, who's been slotting in so well in the absence of the injured Greg Shields at right back. Versatile player who is more normally associated with playing on the left side of defence, Barness.
He might just have a few problems tonight down there, because I think Padula, Viachos and Matias are decent on the ball down Walsall's left.
Cleared by Barras. This is Robbins. Now Kinsella. It's Powell. Robinson caught by Bukran.
Yeah, definitely a clear catch with the left leg, clipping Robinson's heels.
Getting up to make the kick. Here's Padula. Matias.
Good play from Matias, just feeding it up the line to little Matt Robbins. Another free kick. Is this the Fulham charge, Rob?
Viveash with a kick. Brightwell, Robbins. Here's Powell.
Ooh, Kiely a bit fortunate there. Robbins had turned his back on it.
And Brown here has sent Andy Hunt away. He's got support there from Sean Newton. And there are 4 in the area now. Hunter's just made a 5th. Padula doing well there against Sean Newton.
Yeah, there's a little bit of aggression down the left. Skill as well. Padula. Matias has done well there on Vlachov just inside them. They'll be well aware of the pace of Newton down the right hand side.
It's Rufus. Here's Newton. Bukran. Oh, nice touch from Ricketts. This is Matias. And Robbins is waiting, but lets it run. It's Wrack. Across the face of Charlton's goal.
That was a nice bright move, wasn't it? A lovely back flick from Ricketts. And Wrack was quickly to get up. The play's all down the left-hand side. Beautiful back heel from Ricketts. Robbins has now spun the far post. Matias tries to find him. Along comes Wrack, right-footed, and just drags it wide.
Well, it was a lovely build-up for Darren Wrack's chance, in which Pedro Matias was involved. He's now the spotlight for Player Cam for Sky Digital viewers on Sky Sports Extra. Climbing on Michael Ricketts. And it's Padula with a free kick. Viveash has come back, and Andy Hunt has matched him every step of the way. Header on was by Barras. Scored 4 goals this season, including 2 in the league encounters with Wolves.
Kiely just giving it away unnecessarily there. Try to get Robinson away.
Here's Robbins. Now Matias. By Barness. Viachos. Viveash climbing with Hunt. Here is Tony Barras. Robbins trying to play it around the back of Chris Powell.
One thing about Robbins is he is trying to play close to Ricketts. You know, look for little flicks, back heels, knock-ons, holding up. There's not a lot of them.
Here's Robbins. Wrack.
I think both sides are working very hard here, Rob. Nice little flick from Robbins, trying to find Wrack. Wrack, for me, makes it happen for Walsall. But Charlton are working hard. And when Charlton are in possession, Walsall are closing well. And you see how even this match is.
Hard work of Charlton, exemplified by Mark Kinsella, who made the challenge that led to this corner. Kiely kept his eye on it. Here's Rufus. Now Newton. Andy Hunt. Making contact with Newton.
And once again, Viachos and Padula getting stuck into Newton. He doesn't like it.
Barness then with a free kick. And towards Svensson.
Yeah, Svensson can lead, Rob. We haven't seen a lot of him in this first half. Almost 20 minutes gone, but he is an aggressive type player. Good ability, strong, but good in the air.
Maybe seeking his first goal for Charlton, but his last one for Crystal Palace was actually against Walsall, a penalty in the 3-2 victory back in December. Brightwell. This is Powell. Now Brown. Flick on by Stuart. This is Wrack. Brightwell. Ricketts. Bukran's cross in front of Robbins. Vital clearance from Richard Rufus.
That was a lovely move from Walsall. Dangerous ball in the box.
This is Powell. by Barras. Ricketts back to Wrack. From Kinsella.
Just catching down Wrack. I think it's one of them awkward ones where Wrack thinks he can get there first, and you see the challenge. Studs down the leg. And for Walsall's sake, let's hope he's okay. Beautiful ball here from Bukran, right in the danger area. And a good clearance. And really, Walsall at times playing some nice football. Rufus to the rescue.
Wrack was actually the player who'd slipped in behind Richard Rufus when the Charlton defender made that vital clearance. Positioned himself well. Ricketts, flag is up.
Very important, I think, that Kinsella's not really got on the ball here this evening. You know, normally he's the playmaker. Him and Stuart are having to work hard rather than passing the ball. It's all down to Walsall's effort.
There aren't too many teams who found Walsall to be a pushover this season. Took a single goal from Manchester City and Ipswich to beat them here. And in Ipswich's case, it took until the very last minute to break them down.
So graceless Svensson again, just getting a little ticking off from referee Bill Burns. Just a little bit late. Barras gets up quickly.
Well, he's an all-action player, Svensson. Not frightened to put himself about. In towards Viachos, who got the touch on. Here's Hunt. Viachos getting back this time against Stuart. Powell had left it to Brown, and it was well read by Darren Wrack. Robbins has pulled into space as it's played short to Bukran. Robbins is still free, and as the tackle comes in, it's a penalty. Graham Stuart, the offender, and not too many protests from his direction.
No, as soon as he makes the tackle, he knows Graham Stuart. He knows Bukran, as we said, has got some skill. You can see down he goes. Bukran was always getting the ball first. Stuart just a touch late here, and that's enough. Down goes the Hungarian. Bill Burns to the spot, and what a chance for little Robbins.
Well, you wouldn't expect Walsall to get too many chances against a side of the quality of Charlton, but Dean Kiely is a great student of penalties. What does he know about Mark Robbins taking of them? Not enough. Robbins gets it past him, and Walsall lead the First Division leaders 1-0.
Kiely's unlucky here. Robbins, he probably is aware of his good record in saving penalties. Drives it right in the middle of the goal. Kiely to his left, sticks out his leg, and that was unlucky. But Robbins took the responsibilities, put the spot kick down. Bit fortunate, but 1-0.
Walsall 1, Charlton 0, and Mark Robbins, the goal-scoring hero at the weekend against Grimsby, has given the team at the bottom end of the First Division, in the bottom 5 of the table, the lead against the team at the very top.
I tell you what, Rob, it's certainly not against the run of play, is it? A couple of times beautiful moves from Walsall. And Ray Gray, and that's the start he wanted. He'd be impressed before the goal anyway, the way his side are competing against the top of the table Charlton.
It's the first goal that Charlton have conceded in the league in almost 7.5 hours. It's taken a penalty to get past them. And here's Robinson trying to bring Charlton back into it, and it's across there, straight back into it through Andy Hunt.
Tell you what a smashing goal for Hunt, and Hunt makes this goal. He starts it all off with a brilliant sweeping ball out wide to Robinson. Robinson does well, he's got two round him. What a smashing right-footed cross. Hunt rises, powers his header down, and that's a cracker for me. Beautiful move. Robinson supplies a killer ball right in 6 yards out. Hunt supplies the finish.
Andy Hunt gets his 20th goal of the season, and they weren't behind for long. They've responded in the right manner to conceding the penalty, Charlton. Takes it away from Ricketts. Andy Hunt's making a goal-scoring return to the West Midlands. I'm sure he will have been a little riled by the jeering that his return to these parts has attracted from the Walsall fans. But he's reacted positively, and Charlton have certainly reacted positively to conceding that goal. Robbins, who scored it.
That's a great response, though, isn't it, Rob? You know, when the ball's in the box, you're looking for your top scorer. But I thought it was a lovely goal. You know, you can see the ball up. Look at that for a header. Bang! Right out to Robinson. Robinson does well. You see Wrack and the fullback Brightwell. But what a ball in the box. Up he goes, inside the post. 1-1.
That's 9 goals in the last 6 away league matches for Andy Hunt, the beneficiary of some great work from Robinson. In goes Padula's kick. Bukran, cleared by Kinsella. This is Stuart, who'll be feeling a little happier now. And they're through here. It's Robinson. There are 2 to his right. And he couldn't get it right. The ball he tried to play for Stuart wasn't the best, and Padula got there.
Padula went down. I think it was Padula went down against Stuart. And the Walsall fans were screaming for a free kick. Referee played on.
Well, for a moment there seemed to be 3 Charlton attackers and just 1 Walsall defender back. But this is great work, and they found Hunt, but he's offside.
The game suddenly has come alight, hasn't it? He's not complaining, but what a good break here. Sure, down goes Padula, and you suddenly think 3 against 1, they must score. Robinson just this time makes a little bit of a mess of it. Padula gets back.
Stuart, who gave away the penalty. Almost atoned for it. Here's Bukran. Matias. Headed away by Barras. It's Padula. Kerbishley, like many other managers of good teams, must wonder about the psychology of it sometimes when they need something to happen against them to provoke a good response. And that's what's happened here. Walsall will worth their lead, but Charlton have come out fighting since then. It's Kinsella. A great result for Charlton at Bolton at the weekend, their first victory away at Bolton in 45 years, but it was hard work achieving it. They had to wait until the last 10 minutes to do it there, and here they've gone a goal behind, but since then they found their rhythm. And here's Robinson.
They've got to be careful because Robinson's drifting out. You know, early on he was out wide left, made the goal, been out wide, but he's suddenly now drifting inside to try and link up with Svensson and Hunt.
Throw. Cleared by Barras. It's Powell. It's Robinson. Stuart. And Padula has to be careful here. Leaves it to his goalkeeper. Brown. Brightwell. Kinsella. The player cam for the final quarter of an hour for Sky Digital viewers on channel 404 is on Charlton's John Robinson. Choice of European action for you this week with Leeds against Roma from the UEFA Cup 4th round, second leg, Thursday at 7 o'clock on Sky Sports News, and Deportivo La Coruña against Arsenal. Well, our next Nationwide League action comes from the 3rd Division on Friday. It's Swansea against Northampton, Sky Sports 2 and Sky Sports Extra from 7 o'clock. Here's Darren Wrack for Walsall. Brightwell. Cleared by Stuart. Hunt even more unpopular now after cancelling out Mark Robins' penalty. This is Powell. Kinsella. Cross again by Robinson, but no one there for him this time.
See James Walker just taking a breather because this has been played at a good tempo, a good pace about this match.
Wrack. Flick on by Robins, and Rufus deals with it. Viachos. Wrack initially was offside. Well, it's already been an outstanding achievement from Walsall to breach the Charlton rear guard, even though it's taken penalty to do that. There's Barness. Rufus. Padula gets it away for the throw-in. Switching sides and finding Hunt again! And it's 2 for Hunt, and from 1-0 down, Charlton are in the driving seat.
Well, if they haven't learned the lesson, surely now they have. This guy in there is dynamite. You see the run, gets in front of the full back, and again puts it in the same corner. Beautiful header, the ball ends lovely on the right foot. Hunt gets in front of Brightwell, and it's so easy, 2-1. Robinson again, the main supply. Once again, he finds the forehead of Hunt, and Hunt doesn't miss from there.
Suddenly, it's all gone sour for Walsall.
Walsall players were stunned there, Rob. I was looking at the linesman, everyone just sort of stopped dead, froze. And I was looking for a flag, no flag. Robinson had all the time in the world just to pick Andy Hunt out. Hunt timed his run, he's jumped against Brightwell and tucked it away.
Well, that makes it 10 goals now in 6 away league matches, and that little run of goals includes 2 hat-tricks along the way against Norwich and against Stockport. On actually now for his 4th hat-trick of the season. He's got 2 against Stockport this season, Hunt. Padula's kick. Here's Viachos. Here's Bukran. Over away by Newton. Padula's ball in. Viveash was busily trying to get onto it.
A good talk from Kiely. St. Brown, okay, keeper's ball, I've got it, no problem.
Kinsella. Padula. Bukran. Caught by Stuart.
Well, that'd have gone the other way. I think Stuart was trying to get the ball there. I think Viachos just leant into him and nudged him off the ball.
Barras has taken it quickly, but Rufus strong there to beat Ricketts to it.
It's a sign of a good team, confidence flowing. Yes, they were rocked with the Robbins penalty, but didn't panic, kept playing the football, Charlton. And 2 nice moves. Okay, you can look at defending, but Hunt is in top form, especially when the ball's delivered to the forehead. Great run, great jump, and that'll please Alan Curbishley and Keith Peacock.
Confidence certainly flowing through their veins at the moment, and it's that feel-good factor that they want to capitalise on between now and the end of the season, when the going often does get tough.
We'll talk to John Robertson as well. Rob saying that, you know, early on he was hugging the touchline, but he started coming in field and suddenly found himself on the right wing, supplying Andy Hunt for the second.
Better on by Hunt this time. At least one rival First Division manager feels that Charlton have the capability to outpoint even Sunderland from last year when they got the record 105. If they were to win all of their remaining games, which is a tall order, they'd get to 113. But they are already 4 points better off coming into this game at this stage of the season than Sunderland were last year. Sunderland went on to win 11 of their last 13 matches. Rufus. Barras keeping a close eye on Andy Hunt. The free kick goes to waste from Steve Brown.
As we come up to the last 7 or 8 minutes, I'm sure that Ray Graham was saying, hey, come on, early on we were super, we were matching them, excellent, closing them down, not letting them play. We've gone one up, we've just got on our heels a little bit, we've stopped the hard work, so they'll be hoping to keep this. They don't want to go 3-1 down Walsall, they can keep it to one behind half time, can fire his troops up again.
Charlton really are the benchmark for all of the chasing teams, but the weekend results really did put some clear blue water between them and their closest rivals. The first time that they'd established a 10-point advantage this season. Here's Brown. Mr. Versatile in the Charlton Wreck, Steve Brown. Although in these days where they can name 5 substitutes, he hasn't had to sometimes play his customary role in goal. This is Wrack. Now Matias, and Padula is belting forward out to his left. Matias showed too much of it to Barness, and Stuart now picks up the pieces. Here's Kinsella to Robinson. It's good play. Well, the dangerous one swung in. It was Stuart on the end of it this time.
Well, they're passing the ball so quickly, Charlton, from right to left, and again Robinson coming in his good right foot. I just feel the full-back Brightwell's got to get closer, start showing them down the outside, because he'll pick runners out. Stuart was the man who made the run this time. Sure of it, Tottenham going up just yet, but the Charlton fans behind that goal, they know, they're confident.
There's Padula. It's a delicate balancing act now for the Charlton management and coaching staff in putting the brakes on getting too carried away and complacent, while at the same time trying to keep their confidence up. Padula's aimed it at Viachos over his head. Wrack. And Wrack is the only player to figure in all 40 of Walsall's matches this season. Walsall have been out of the bottom three now since mid-January. It's really tight down there. And they do have some very difficult fixtures to come. Still to come in March. They've got a trip to Huddersfield next, and also a trip to rivals in distress, Port Vale, before the end of the month. Flick on by Robbins. This is Ricketts. Brightwell gets it across well. Viachos was challenging.
It's good goalkeeping, isn't it? Kelly's not had too much to do. Almost got the penalty, but he's quickly off his line here. The ball laid back, first time crossing the box. Look how quickly he comes, Kiely.
Viveash with a free kick. Ricketts on the chase for it. Promising young player, Michael Ricketts, who scored on his debut for the club, but I think he's disappointed the fans by making clear since the weekend that when his contract's up he'll be looking to move. Although Walsall will still be able to command the fee for him as he's under 24. Here's Kinsella.
It's amazing every time Kinsella gets it, Powell or Robinson, he always looks to the left-hand side, they're always aware. Right, quick break. Kinsella's so accurate.
Now Powell. This is Stuart. Powell.
I don't think we can fault James Walker on either of the goals. Just good balls in the box. And Hunt timed these runs superb.
Barras. Robbins.
Robinson not happy with Brightwell's challenge. He's not been too tight to Robinson. This time he catches him.
Barras sticking tight to Hunt this time. It's in towards Andy Hunt. Viachos clears. Here's Brown. Padula. Stuart. Now Bukran. Kinsella. Ricketts.
Well, you think it's a hopeful ball in the box from Ricketts. When you see the likes of little Robbins against Rufus, now not a chance. The ball has to be perfect.
Two minutes of stoppage time to be added on in the first half. Brown clearing the lines.
All about concentration now. These last minute and a half of the first half. The Charlton defence.
Brightwell's throw. Robbins with the touch. Wouldn't fall for Wrack though. Newton got in the way to intercept. Viachos back from Matias. This is Viveash.
One thing with the two Charlton wide players there, Newton on the right hand side, Robinson on the left, they do tuck in well and get back.
That's a dreadful back pass from Bukran, and Hunt could be in here for a first half hat-trick. It's been ushered away by Viveash. Newton though, Kinsella! Off the post! And Charlton 3-1 ahead.
I was just about to say, Rob, Hunt should have hit it on his right foot. Go on, hat-trick coming. And this shows you again the confidence. Not sure, Hunt, he says, hold on a minute, I'll turn away. We talk about concentration. Walsall fast asleep. Viveash trying to get back. Hunt takes his time, lays it back, and it's a beautiful ball, isn't it? Kinsella nods it down. You feel for James Walker. Not a chance again. Newton this time the supplier. Beautiful downward header in off the post. 3-1.
Well, will it be a killer goal, or can Walsall's commendable spirit get them through? They'd hoped to get to half-time with maybe just a 2-1 deficit, having originally taken the lead, but Mark Kinsella has made their task all the more difficult after Andy Hunt's 2 goals had taken him to a personal tally of 21, but turned around a deficit after Walsall had temporarily upset the form book by taking the lead through Mark Robbins. The Walsall goal came from a penalty, Graham Stuart upending Gabby Bukran, and Mark Robbins delivering from the spot, though Dean Kiely was unlucky as it was placed straight down the middle. But 2 goals for Hunt and 2 assists for John Robinson, although Hunt himself was involved at the source of this one with a header out to the winger and then delivered with a header from the cross. Hunt second and Charlton second, again provided by Robinson, who this time had switched to the right, catching Walsall out, and Hunt put Charlton ahead for the first time in the game, and a real bitter pill for Walsall to swallow just before half-time. Another header, this time from little Kinsella, who'd freed himself in the box. Hunt turning provider, and at half-time here at the Bescot Stadium, it's Walsall 1, Charlton 3.
Welcome back. Charlton well on their way to their 12th successive league victory. 2 more for Andy Hunt. Walsall have it all to do after the break. More European football for you this Thursday night on Sky Sports News. It's the 4th round second leg ties involving Leeds, who are at home to Roma, and Arsenal away to Deportivo La Coruña. Arsenal 5-1 up, of course. Leeds level at 0-0. It's all from 7 o'clock this Thursday evening. Here are the other half-time scores for you in the First Division. It's Birmingham 0, Portsmouth 0. Crewe lead Port Vale by a goal to 0. That's a crucial game near the bottom. Colin Cram after 14 minutes. Palace 0, Bolton 0. Fulham a goal up on Stockport. Barry Hales, his first in the league since October. Grimsby 1, Wolves 0. Darryl Clare after 18 minutes for the Mariners. Ipswich 0, Blackburn 0. Sheffield United 1, Barnsley 2. Georgie Christoph put Barnsley in front. Alex Notman equalised. A Darren Barnard penalty restored the Tykes lead. Real surprise at the County Ground. Swindon 1 up on Huddersfield. Lee Collins after 11 minutes. And managerless Tranmere, or rather managerless West Brom, lead Tranmere by 1 goal to 0. Sean Flynn for the Baggies. It is 3-1 to Charlton at half-time against a Walsall side who started quite brightly. Took the lead as well, but just couldn't kick on from there.
Yeah, they did start brightly, but Charlton managed to stay with them as well. I think Graham would be a little bit disappointed in himself here. If he races him to the byline, I'm sure he doesn't get that cross in Bukran. But there he goes to the ground, and once you go to the ground, he just gets a little nick. Over goes Bukran, and I think a penalty kick, I'd have to say.
Nigel?
Definite penalty. Graham Stuart, not renowned for his tackling, Graham. Good, very good player. But that's why he shouldn't have been doing back there.
Interesting penalty straight down the middle. It's a good one if you've got the nerve, isn't it?
Dean Kiely's a very good penalty saver, and I think Mark Robbins just felt, well, I'm going to hit this one down the middle and hope for the best, and it worked for him.
Yeah, so a goal to the good, but it didn't last. I mean, within a couple of minutes, Charlton were level. They've forgotten what it's like to lose a game of football. It's November the 30th since they were last on the receiving end. Mr. Robinson has created 2 and Mr. Hunt has scored 2. 20 for the season now for him.
Yeah, but as you said, Walsall didn't hang on to their lead long enough, and John Robinson skipping inside 2 there. But Andy Hunt, great header at the far post, above the defender, Viveash. Great ball. The keeper can't come for that, can he?
It's a super ball. It's got pace. I think even you might have scored that, Marcus.
Hunt's been really busy, hasn't he? Because he actually set up the move that led to that first goal. He's been willing throughout.
Yeah, he has, Marcus. He's got good movement off the ball as well. He's a good runner off the ball, and for a big man as well, he's quite a tall lad, and you don't often see that with big guys, but his movement is exceptional.
Well, the second goal for Charlton wasn't long in coming. It really knocked the stuffing out of Walsall, didn't it?
But this is just poor defending from a throw. John Robinson gets down the side, controls it, puts it in, and Hunt just gets across the man at the near post. Simple goal. But I think Ray Graydon will be pulling what's left of his hair out because of the marking.
But once again, Marcus, good movement. You know, he starts off behind the defender, ends up in front of him and nutting it in the same post that he scored the first goal. There's super movement off the ball. And this was a classic goal, this.
Yeah.
You know, Mark Kinsella is renowned for breaking from midfield. It's a long run. He's not picked up. What a fabulous header.
Good ball from Sean Newton as well. Picked him out.
Good ball.
But Hunt normally, if that was on his left side, he would have gone for goal, Ray, wouldn't he?
Yeah, and most definitely.
Cuts back.
But again, Ray Graydon's going to be crying out to say, where was someone tracking that run?
Well, exactly. You know, you've got to track runners from midfield. It's the most unpleasant part of a midfielder's game. But Mark Kinsella times that exceptionally well, arrives and whacks it in.
Not looking good. 14 times this season Charlton have been in front at half-time. On 13 occasions they've gone on to win. The other time they drew. 3 points that likely again. Nassim Hamid faces his biggest test on Saturday night against Vuani Bungu, the dangerous South African who's unbeaten in the last 8 years. Now the hard-hitting lineup includes the Shamrock Express, Shay Neary and Steve Robinson. It's all on Sky Box Office from 8 o'clock. For more information, call 0990 800 888. That's 0990 800 888. Or if you're watching on Sky Digital, see channel 770 for details. Well, Walsall will be feeling saddle sore at half-time. Can they ride back into it in the second half? Let's rejoin Alan Brazil and Rob Hawthorne.
And a half-time substitution by Walsall, who've taken off Gabby Bukran and have replaced him with the Icelander Bjarni Larusson. And the player cam spotlight for the first 15 minutes of the second half will be on Andy Hunt. That's for Sky Digital viewers on channel 404. Hunt within a goal of completing his 4th hat-trick of the season as Walsall get the second half underway, needing an early goal if they're to revive their hopes of taking anything from this match. But the way they've started suggests that a lot of their confidence has been drained from them.
No, I think if they'd have gone in at 2-1, Rob, you know, they file them up in the dressing room, the management. It's that third goal. I looked around, I see a few of the Walsall heads drop. What a time to lose a third.
And particularly the manner in which it has been conceded.
You just feel an early Charlton goal here to make it 4. Could have a rout on our hands.
John Robinson, who's had assists for the 2 Andy Hunt goals. And all of the goals have been headers. Show you how much of a difficult task faces Walsall. Ipswich, the only team to put more than 2 goals past Charlton this season. But they've forced the corner out of Richard Rufus, and this could offer them a lifeline. It's Matias who's taken it, and Viveash!
It's good play from Kiely. You know, Ricketts was standing right in front of Kiely. It's not a bad ball in the box from the corner. Viveash rises first, powers his header, and just when they think they're back in it, Kiely takes it easy. He's a confident goalkeeper, Dean Kiely. Viveash in front, but just plucks it to safely.
Well, he stood his ground there, did Kiely, despite the fact that Michael Ricketts was standing just in front of him. Kiely has broken into the Republic of Ireland international team, played in the 2 matches against Turkey in the playoffs in the absence of the injured Alan Kelly, and he's certainly been a sound investment from Charlton's point of view. One blemish tonight for Charlton's defence, and Kiely in particular, is that it's left him still 2 short of the clean sheets that he needs to match the club record of Nicky Johns back in the 1980-81 season. He's on 17 at the moment. But Alan Kirbishley can't complain about his goalkeeper from the point of view that the only goal he has conceded tonight was from the penalty spot. There's Powell. Defending by Barras. This is Ricketts. And now Larusson. This is Darren Wrack. Going first inside, then outside of Powell. Now requiring a bit of help from Michael Ricketts. Lee serving to squeeze Charlton back in their own half as Powell now takes the throw-in for them. Cleared by Kinsella. And Walker taking a massive gamble there against Svensson.
Svensson's ran over it, trying to take the quick one, but the linesman's given the other way. The good presence from Svensson. He's got to be careful, he's just punched the ball away. Hopefully the referee won't take any action here. Look at Svensson, how quick he is getting in there. And that was a throw into Charlton. That's why he's raced after it.
Also, though, getting the rub of the green on the assistant referee's decision. Ricketts. Barness. Here's Newton. Hunt. Robinson's ball in again, but in front of Hunt this time. Barness. Barness has got the decision, takes the throw.
Larusson's got to be careful. A couple of times now he's been barging into players. The ref's had a little chat with him. Try and make an impact coming on the sub. Side 3-1 down. Try and put himself about a bit.
Joined them on a free from Hibernian. Larusson was promoted with Walsall a year after being relegated at Hibs. This was always going to be a difficult settling in period for Walsall after their successes of last year. And even 4th from bottom will be a momentous achievement, bearing in mind the limited funds they had to strengthen their side. In fact, the team out tonight, Tony Barras is the only one that Ray Graydon has paid a transfer fee for, and that was only £20,000. Paid that money to Reading for him. Here's Svensson. That was Wrack. Ricketts. Here's Padula. Matias back to him. Barness. Hunt. Cleared by Barras. Padula. gradual progress down that line, and now Padula looking positively for Viachos. Robbins with a flick back, cleared by Powell. And Robinson at the second attempt gets rid of it. This is Stuart. Robinson. This is Powell. Stuart. Svensson. Svensson pulling away at Larusson. And conceding the free kick in the process. Here's Michael Ricketts. Brightwell. Wrack. Nice move from Walsall. Larusson finds Matias. And that time, despite the call from Kiely, Kinsella clears. Here's Wrack. Just signs now that they might engineer something, Walsall. Brightwell looking for Robbins, who lets it go to Matias. No one there for the knockback from Robbins. This is Larusson. This has been an encouraging passage of play for the home team, and Ricketts has managed to get away from Brown and pulls it across to Matias, and he misses from close range.
Well, Matias just applauding the service there from Ricketts. And Ricketts wasted no time at all in getting this ball in the box. It's good play, but watch, very quickly, puts it in there. Great ball. Matias just can't stretch enough. Very unlucky. Ricketts with his right foot just feels it, puts it across the box. A great ball. Matias so close to bring them back to 3-2.
Well, it was coming at him with some pace, Matias, and he just couldn't direct it into goal. What a huge lift that would have given to Walsall.
As you say, it was a nice spell of play, wasn't it? Good possession, passing the ball, Charlton close, couldn't get it back.
Can they draw inspiration from it? Ricketts with a header back this time, and Powell under pressure here from Wrack. Suddenly Charlton the busier of the two teams defensively again. Svensson, and he's managed to play it to Sean Newton, and Newton gets a second bite and a good double save from Walker.
Well, that goes in, it's surely all over, and Newton has a great chance. His first touch is good here, Rob. Gets out his feet, gets a second chance. Good goalkeeping from Walker. It should have been a goal. No excuses here from Newton. That's a good first touch. The keeper comes to the rescue.
Drawn high praise for some of his performances this season as James Walker. At the other end, here's Robbins looking to carve out an opening, and he's got it across towards Ricketts. Kiely comes and punches, but only to Viachos.
Kiely came, got a good punch on it, was caught. Good goalkeeping all the same. Good ball in the box. See, Ricketts just catches him. Kiely grounded for a minute, but Viachos, wow, shots well wide.
Has scored one goal this season, but that was for Portsmouth in a victory at Tranmere back in September. Did play in Portsmouth's defeat by Charlton.
Okay.
There aren't too many teams that have been on the right side of scorelines against Charlton this season. Just 5 league defeats, although they're already sustaining more than Sunderland did last season.
You see Walsall started the second half well, but the goal they needed, it hasn't come, and in fact Charlton should increase the lead. Great chance for Newton.
Here's Larusson. Now Svensson. Powell. This is Hunt.
Good hold-up play again from Andy Hunt.
Kinsella caught by Viachos. He's done well. Here's Matias. Very well to keep that one in. Pedro Matias. Newton just holds him up.
Shocked having to go at the linesman. After a beautiful, you have to say, a beautiful bit of skill on the touchline. But Newton's definitely pacier.
Well, he'd had a steady, if unspectacular, start to his Walsall career, Pedro Matias, but he scored a wonderful goal when our cameras were last here in the defeat by Fulham. But he has flourished in spells. Kiely unfazed in the end by the balloon, which is a remnant of the pre-match protest by the fans. And here's Ricketts. He's got through well. Can he give Walsall a lifeline? Oh, Kiely! Magnificent save. Got enough on it to tip it onto the post.
Well, Ricketts talking about he might want to move away from the Bescot. This, he shows his power and his pace. Kiely, I'm sure, gets a touch on this, Rob. Maybe just a finger on it. And somehow rides his own luck, makes his luck. You'd fancy Ricketts here. He's got the pace, the power, he's away from the defender. Keeper to beat. Goes for the far corner. Look at the concentration on Kiely's face. And he does get a touch. The slightest. Gets the second attempt back off the post. Good save from the goalkeeper.
He's having to come out again here against Ricketts, but only to usher it behind.
Concentration on Kiely's face there. 3-1 up, it's a cold night, yeah. Keeping on his toes. Ricketts should have scored one-on-one. Power pace through, goes to the far corner, just a slice of touch. Nudges it on the inside of the post, up like a shot, gets a rebound.
And the goalkeeper further enhancing his reputation. But this is an inspirational passage of play from Walsall, and there are certainly plenty of mistakes happening in front of Kiely that Walsall are seeking to benefit from.
I think Charlton will make a change soon, I really do. They've just gone, they've had one chance when Newton should have scored, but I just feel they say, OK, come on, let's get some fresh legs on there. That'll come, I'm certain, in the next 10 minutes.
Mervyn Day speaking to Anthony Barness. Here's Brightwell. Can Walsall make capital out of this excellent period of pressure that they've had and the far greater possession that they've had? Matias trying to play Padula in this time, but Kiely's again bold and courageous in coming, and his judgment spot on.
Yeah, I think Barness had it covered as well.
It's Matias. Hunt was offside. Well, the Walsall captain and defender Adrian Viveash is the next subject for the player cam for Sky Digital viewers on Sky Sports Extra. Viachos.
He hasn't done bad, has he, Viachos? He's been battling away, won a few of the balls in the air. Try to drive forward. Ray Graydon knows one goal they needed. Just after the break would have done them. They've had two good chances, and surely he thought Ricketts was going to put them back in the game.
It was a dreadful time for them to concede a third goal right on the stroke of half-time. The Walsall manager, I'm sure, will have been heartened by the way his players have attempted to pick things up since the break. There's Barness towards Hunt, just over Robinson's head. Brightwell, given away to Powell. Barras. Foot of Kinsella up there against Viachos. Here's Padula. Matias. Larusson. Larusson wants to get on with it, and Viveash has made a good run forward from the back. He wanted it played a little earlier than Larusson intended. See it around the back instead. Oh, and cleared by Barness from the Viachos header.
Viachos was mentioned a few moments ago, Rob, his power in the air. This is a great chance. What a beautiful header this is. Surely a red shirt gets on that. Right on the goal line. And that's fantastic defending from Barness. But a Walsall red shirt should have been on it.
And again, Viachos piles in, but this time too many bodies in the way, including one of his own teammates, Barras.
3 glorious chances now. Matias had one, Ricketts had the best one, and Wrack is heading across the goal. Must have been just praying for one of his teammates on the end. Really attacking the ball well, Walsall.
Well, it's been a tale of missed opportunities so far in this second half, and that has so often been the case for Walsall in recent games. Just look at that, ahead of Charlton on attempts. Slightly behind on those that have directly troubled the goalkeeper. Charlton's ratio improved on Walsall's, and Andy Hunt, who's got 2 of the goals that could prove the difference at the end of the evening. In towards Viveash, and Robbins couldn't steer it goalwards, but does get the corner.
Again, the goal's under threat. Svensson getting back, defending well. We haven't seen a lot of them attacking, but defensively doing a good job there.
And they strike here while the iron's hot as Matias whips it across again. Risky clearance, concedes the corner.
Brown was struggling there, but look at Svensson, just lets it go, and suddenly Brown sticks out a right foot. That could have gone anywhere.
Piling the bodies in there as they have to now. Walsall go for broke. Viachos! He has given them a lifeline. His strength in the air pays off, and Walsall get it back to 3-2.
Well, the writing was on the wall, wasn't it? Viachos attacking everything, and what a leap this is. A high ball, bit of movement on it, but look at that, powers it in from 5 yards. And Charlton, they haven't heeded the warning. Viachos again, his strength, his power. What a leap, powers it in. Kiely, no chance. Walsall back in at 3-2.
Well, Walsall proved at their most vulnerable after they just scored their previous goal from the penalty spots, and they conceded within a short space of time after. They're hoping that Viachos' goal will count for more, but Charlton immediately put them on the back foot again here. Hunt pulls it back across, and problems here. Charlton have done it again, and Kinsella has done it again. His second, Charlton's fourth, and would you believe it, when they need to, Charlton can turn it on.
It's unbelievable, isn't it? Unbelievable. Alan Kirbysley come down the bench to sort this out, and his side, straight back in it, amazing. Kinsella just falling on his right foot, it's a beautiful strike. Walker's got no chance, but really Walsall have to defend. They've got back in it, and suddenly they've thrown it away. Lovely strike, Kinsella stretching his right foot, but the direction, the power and the pace is there. 4-2.
Well, Charlton almost seem to need to sit back and wait for the other team's action before prompting themselves into life. But Mark Kinsella striking so quickly after Walsall appeared to have given themselves hopes in this match.
Alan can't believe it. He'll be very disappointed. The goals, they're conceding, but the character there, it's as if they just say, OK, we've had enough of this, change up a gear, and let's get another one. Kinsella does strike a beautiful ball, and Ray Graydon, wow. Surely now the chance is gone. He's them in level, 3-3. Chances they've had.
Well, it's Charlton they call the Valiants, but a lot of valiant spirit displayed by the home team tonight, and it's forcing a reaction now from Charlton, who are poised to bring Carl Tyler on. Brightwell's throw. Here's Andy Hunt. Kinsella. Kinsella and Hunt now both on hat-tricks. This is Barness, hits his own man, Svensson. Stuart.
Good play from Stuart.
And Robinson furious, but he's offside.
As you say, Rob, 2 players going for hat-tricks now. It's going to be Hunt or Kinsella.
Well, Carl Tyler is now going to come on. And Graham Stuart is the man they're taking off. He scored the winner against Walsall at the Valley back in November, and Charlton won 2-1. There'll be no goals for him tonight. Carl Tyler comes on to take his place.
I think it might be just a straight win back, to be honest, Rob. Tyler getting in with a 3, the other 2 centre-halves making a 3. And Barness and Powell just pushing into the midfield.
Here's Padula. Matias.
Shows some good quality and skills right in that touchline, isn't he, Pedro Matias?
Here's Newton. Barras. Managed to get it around the back of Barness. And Matias. Here's Padula with the throw-in. Looking for Viachos, but it's Newton who's cleared. Padula. Matias. He's done very well there, Matias.
I just think he can get it in a little bit earlier on his right foot, but predominantly left-footed. Trying to throw the dummy back on his good left.
Here's Matias.
He just follows through. Matias could be in trouble. Hopefully just a ticking off.
Actually appears to have hurt himself more than Kinsella.
Yeah, well done, ref. It's not nasty, is it? Just a little bit late, a little bit frustrated. Kinsella, the 2-goal hero, quickly picks himself up.
Newton. Here's Viachos, whose first goal for Walsall might now be rendered meaningless by the scoreline after Kinsella's second and Charlton's 4th. Here's Rufus. Barness with the throw. Svensson. There seems to be a bit of pulling there by Tyler on Ricketts. Barras. Here's Newton.
With the 4th one going in, saying, OK, let's just tighten this up. Let's have the 3 centre-backs flood the midfield. You know, we don't want to make this game any more exciting.
Well, certainly been a lesson learned here tonight for the running ahead. That the minute they start resting on their laurels, then other teams will be within reach of them. And Walsall, having taken the lead in the first instance here, have twice been within reach of getting something out of this game, only to be cruelly denied by Charlton goals a minute or so after they'd scored.
Kinsella's so dangerous, isn't he? He's always lurking around the edge of the box.
Ricketts. Barness. It's Svensson who keeps it in. Now Newton, now Robinson. He set up Hunt's 2 previous goals, and Hunt is again waiting in the middle, but Padula was lying in wait as well for John Robinson. Here's Svensson. Newton. Hit against him by Viveash. It's getting heavier now, which may be adding to the difficulties of the players.
Once again, the 2 Charlton white players, Rob, do a good job. You know, Robinson and Newton, you know, they're dangerous attacking, but when they have to defend, they're back quickly, working hard.
Here's Larusson getting it across to Ricketts. And Kiely under pressure, but the foul is given against Robbins.
Yeah, Robbins definitely jumping into Kiely. Viachos again in support. Viachos has got through a lot of work. He was at the far post. You can see him just at the, you know, try and nick it in. But the linesman and the referee already, whistle in mouth, had blown. Yeah, at times, Rob, Charlton have looked a little bit uneasy at the back.
Make a change up front though now. And as they did at the weekend against Bolton, they're bringing off Matias Svensson and bringing on in his place Martin Pringle, who when he came on at the Reebok at the weekend, then proceeded to score.
He puts himself about, Rob. He works hard as well, Pringle, and has got pace. Svensson looks a little bit out of sorts at the moment. Svensson recovering from, you know, missing so many games through injury. Not at his best or sharpest.
It was 11 minutes after he'd come on at the weekend that Pringle actually got his goal. Here's Viveash. Cleared by Tyler.
We'll also have to be careful and aware of the pace of Pringle. He does chase lost causes. The 2 centre-halves have had a hard job tonight, Viveash. Barras, and suddenly on their heels, Pringle will exploit it.
Here's Kinsella. Newton. Swept out by Robinson. This is Powell.
Robinson's been allowed to play what he likes.
Here's Kinsella.
Thinking about the hat-trick there. Had a wee look, see what the keeper was.
Well, it's a race for the match ball now between Andy Hunt and Mark Kinsella. And it's been pulled back across to Pringle, who with his first opportunity hits it wide.
Yeah, no one really behind him. I thought maybe a dummy was on, but I don't think there was anyone directly behind him. Walsall again just switching off slightly here. The balls should be cleared, no problem at all. Suddenly they give it away, whipped in the box. Pringle arrives, just trying a little tiny cut in the near post.
And Martin Pringle now is in the spotlight of Player Cam for Sky Digital viewers on channel 404. And a change here for Walsall with Ziggy Eyjolfsson, who's just come back from a loan spell at Chester, coming on to take the place of Mark Robbins. There's Brown. So Robbins off and Eyjolfsson on. He scored 3 goals actually in that loan spell at Chester, which has coincided in a bit of a pickup for the team at the very bottom of the Nationwide League. So quite a contrast for him from playing at the team that's bottom of the Nationwide League to against the team that at the top of the Nationwide League.
Atkins needs a little tonic, a little pick-me-up. He needs a string of results quickly.
Oh, knocked down there by Barras, who gets it back in for Ricketts. Viachos unable to make the most of the first knockdown. Here's Padula. And the offside flag is up. Matias, the offender. And European action to come this Thursday night for you. A choice of Leeds against Roma, delicately balanced at 0-0 from the first leg, and Deportivo La Coruña against Arsenal in the fourth round second leg. They're on Sky Sports News, while our next Nationwide League action comes from the third division at the Vetch Field. Swansea against Northampton, Sky Sports 2 and Sky Sports Extra, 7 o'clock on Friday. Charlton at the moment set to extend their lead at the top of the first division, or at least maintain it, depending on how the other results go. Here's Larusson. Wrack just can't get it behind Powell.
Yeah, we haven't seen a lot of Wrack second half, have we? You know, first half he was always involved, very direct, likes to run at people with pace. Second half, a little bit, not seen enough of the ball.
Viachos. It's Barras. It's Padula. Viveash to Matias. Padula again. Played by Barness. This is Pringle. Kinsella. And Tyler. Powell. He has Rufus available. Oh, and Rufus has let it go there.
Yeah, he wasn't aware what was around him. Suddenly Ricketts spotted the danger, over he came.
They have unnecessarily put themselves under pressure here. Matias whips it across though.
They're not across like that, Rob. Kiely just happy to say, come on, clear the lines, up you go, no rush.
Well, into the last 10 minutes, and Walsall have continued to keep the squeeze on Charlton in this second half, but Andy Hunt continues to be a real threat here, and he's found Martin Pringle, and Pringle goes down, and as it's pulled back across, Walker holds on.
Well, Pringle should have got the shot away, but Brightwell does well. Hunt has a little bit of luck, goes to Pringle. Brightwell's got to be absolutely inch perfect, and he was. Good challenge, good tackle.
There's Eyjolfsson. It's always difficult to get the better of Richard Rufus, as Eyjolfsson has discovered. Well, Alan Kirbishley looking a little more relaxed now than he did for that minute or so when their lead had been reduced to 3-2. But what an immense run of form they're on now. It'll be a 12th consecutive victory, leaving them just 2 short of the league record of 14 straight wins. It's going to be a difficult task to actually equal it. They've got Swindon in their next game, but their game after that is against Manchester City. And that's the one in which they could be going for the 14th win on the trot. That would equal the record shared by Manchester United, Bristol City and Preston, who were the last team to achieve it back in the 1950-51 season. They won't have Richard Rufus, incidentally, for that Manchester City game. He'll be suspended. There's Robinson. This is Barras.
I think we're just reacting there. There was a bit of a shock from Barras. Barras got away with it.
Padula. Viveash. This is Brightwell. This is Michael Ricketts. Well, Ricketts now must be wondering what might have been after that effort of his that Kiely tipped onto the post. And here's Newton with Pringle waiting in the middle. It's Pringle! Oh, how did he miss? It looked easier to score.
Well, I never. Incredible. Newton, excellent run from Newton. Pringle can't believe it. And they're looking at the Charlton fans behind the goal. Newton looks up, thinks, right, it's a bit pace and direction. Oh dear. He must have taken his eye off this, Rob, because any sort of touch you'd have thought must find the net.
Virtually the whole goal to aim at, and Pringle somehow hits the woodwork.
Well, the good news is a 4-2 up, it doesn't really matter. You know, if it was 0-0 or 1-1. It's a lovely ball from Newton. Good pace in it, not too much pace, just about right, perfect. I bet Sean Newton can't believe it.
Walsall could feed off that as a turning point if they get another goal now. Still keeping them under pressure here. Wrack short of options from the throw, and has left it instead for Brightwell to take. Now here's Darren Wrack. Ken Viachos is in there. Viveash steps onto it. Can Ricketts here turn? He's asking a lot of him. There were three around him. Viachos taken down right on the edge of the area by Tyler.
Thought he got the ball, Rob. Unfortunately, you can see he's got the ball. Viachos, the problem was the ball's between his legs, and Tyler rightly goes for the ball. Unfortunately for Tyler, with the referee's interpretation, just outside the box.
Well, 6 minutes to go. You never know. Kiely is beaten from this, then it could be a rip-roaring finish here at the Bescot Stadium. Kiely's certainly not done much wrong tonight.
Just wonder if Matias fancied this with his left foot, Rob. He might fancy a blast. They want to make their mind up, be positive.
Well, it'll take something special to beat the Charlton defence and goalkeeper, but Matias does seem to fancy his chances from this sort of range. Wrack and Larusson and Viachos are there as well. It's Wrack!
Tyler makes amends. I think it's Tyler that hit. I thought he was unlucky, to be honest. Conceding the free kick, but I'm sure he gets in the way.
So Tyler maybe will feel that justice has been done. It's Tyler again here up against Darren Wrack.
Actually, it was just to his left. Rufus hitting the ball onto Tyler. Still, I'm sure. I think Alan Curbishley reflecting on this will say, hey guys, you know, against better sides, you can't give goals away and then expect to go up the other end within a minute or 2 minutes and get a goal back. We have to tighten up.
Foul against Barras. Larusson takes advantage and slips it through to Ricketts. Offside.
Well, he's in the threat second half, hasn't he, Ricketts? Should certainly have got one. This time his pace just taking him in an offside position. You can see the linesman's in a perfect place. There's about a yard in it. Good decision.
There's Robinson. Padula gets it away. Hunt. Now Kinsella. Viveash. This is Brightwell. Barras to Barness.
Now Charlton move it and march on. I think Walsall at least have still got a lot of fighting spirit, Rob. You know, when you're down there struggling, you play the top of the table side, you think, oh, and they score so early, Charlton. Yeah, sorry, they equalise so early after, and Walsall take the lead, you think, oh, crikey, and then a second goal. But they haven't given up, have they? Their heads are high, they've worked hard, competing right at the final whistle.
Credit too to the fans here, who may have their grievances with the owner, but they've been keen that that should be separated from the football. They want the atmosphere to stay positive during matches and make their feelings known in other ways, and will probably be protesting afterwards against the club's owner, who is sitting just behind Ray Graydon there. Bearing in mind that there are pots of money to spend, Walsall have again shown themselves tonight to be a team certainly capable of surviving at this level.
And I think Viachos has done well for them. Look at the battling qualities; they're all, they're all together. Gives them a chance.
Eyjolfsson. Here's Larusson. And Wrack had made the break. It was a crucial touch from Tyler.
It was a great move as well. As you say, Rob, Wrack was clear.
Disappointment with a cross. But John Robinson's crossing on the whole has been inch perfect tonight, and he is nationwide man of the match.
Well, the two midfielders in the studio giving it to Robinson. I think I'd have gone for this guy myself.
Strikers club staying united.
Clinical finishes.
Well, maybe it'd be a fair deal if Robinson gets the champagne and Hunt gets the match ball.
Shouldn't forget Kinsella as well. 2 from midfield's excellent.
Here's Powell. Larusson. Padula. Cross comes Barness, got caught there by Padula, who...
Yeah, a little bit late, Rob. That's the last minute. Just catch them the inside of the left ankle.
And to be fair to Padula, immediately acknowledged his misjudgment. And then Kerbishley back at the touchline as the match enters its final throws.
Yeah, he doesn't get carried away, Alan, does he? Taking it all in.
Here's Viachos. Now Larusson. Viachos and Ricketts have joined the attack. Just fell into Mark Kinsella. Barras already played the first minute of the 3 to be added on. Good pressure here from Eyjolfsson. It might carve out an opening here. Ricketts and Viachos are there, and Viachos seemed to hit it against himself, but it's turned back across by Eyjolfsson.
So he does ever so well here. Kinsella getting back. Really does. Good play, good closing down the far side. Watch Kinsella arriving late as his ball's cut back. Just there, gets a foot in, Kinsella, excellent. And just for a minute you thought Kiely was beaten. The ball spinning, takes a wicked bounce. Unfortunately for Charlton, just past.
Recent matches have seen plenty of missed opportunities for Walsall, and tonight has been another catalogue of those. Heartening for them that they are creating those chances. Svensson. And Padula. Matias with a throw. This is Eyjolfsson. Eyjolfsson losing his footing, and Ray Graydon perhaps just losing faith that anything is going to come out of this match. We're up to the 3-minute injury time mark, and I'm sure he'll be able to draw plenty of positives from it, but no points.
First 20 minutes, Rob, were good. They've competed. As you say, there is positive to be taken from this match.
Charlton go marching on, their 12th successive league win ensured by 2 goals from Andy Hunt and 2 goals from Mark Kinsella. But Walsall, despite starting this match in the bottom 5 of the First Division, weren't just fodder to be brushed aside. They really made a battle out of it. But it was ironically after they'd scored each of their goals that Charlton struck back to break their hearts. Hunt equalising a minute or so after Robbins had scored from the penalty spot, and then Kinsella getting the 4th so soon after Walsall through Viachos had dragged it back to 4-2. Kiely had also an important contribution to make with some fine saves. This was the setback that Charlton had in the 25th minute when Bukran was fouled by Stuart and Robbins scored from the penalty spot. But immediately after, Charlton responded, and from Robinson's cross, Andy Hunt headed in his first. And it was the same combination that gave Charlton a 2-1 lead. Robinson from the right this time, and Hunt getting his 21st goal of the season. The 3rd goal for Charlton, a real heartbreaker just before half-time. Again a header, this time Kinsella stealing in from midfield. But Walsall's great drive and determination exemplified by their comeback to 3-2. Viachos towering above everyone else in the air to knock home Pedro Matias' corner. But so soon after that, there was a further setback for them. Kinsella getting his 2nd and Charlton's 4th. So at the end of the night, 2 for Kinsella, 2 for Hunt. Charlton maintained their firm grip on the leadership of the First Division, and it's finished Walsall 2, Charlton 4.
Thanks, Rob. They really are an irresistible force at the moment, aren't they? Now, Thursday night, European action on Sky Sports News. It's the UEFA Cup 4th round 2nd leg ties involving Leeds at home to Roma, 0-0 from the first leg, and Arsenal away at Deportivo La Coruña with the comfortable cushion of a 5-1 lead. 7 o'clock Thursday night on Sky Sports News. Well, when we come back from the break, there'll be reaction and analysis from the Bescot Stadium and a roundup of the night's other scores, plus some of the goals, including a Georgie Christoph strike for Barnsley at Sheffield United in a South Yorkshire derby that kept everyone on the edge of their seats. Welcome back to the Bescot Stadium, where Charlton have made it 12 successive league wins. 4-2 winners against Walsall, who did attempt 12 goal efforts. 6 on target for them, but 7 for Charlton. Every time they were under pressure, they went up the other end and scored, or so it seemed. No bookings. Action areas, first half pretty even over the piece. Walsall with a little more of the ball. They gave a pretty good account of themselves, really, especially in the second half, but it all came to naught. Let's hear from the man of the match, John Robinson, and 2-goal hero, Andy Hunt. They're both talking to Alan Bentley.
John, the winning run continues, but it was never easy, was it?
No, that's right. We knew it was going to be hard coming here. They're fighting, obviously, for relegation. They need the points just as much as, obviously, we do. But we thought we'd done well, dug in. Disappointed in the first half because we didn't really kick into gear, to be honest. Thought they'd done very, very well. Probably deserved to probably be in front a little bit half time, but Andy pops up with the 2 goals, gives us a bit of a lift, and so it's just going out in the first 10 minutes of the second half, making sure that we didn't let one in.
It seemed their goals stung you into action.
That's right. I mean, we've gone behind quite a few times this year. Sometimes it's a kick that we need, but we showed a lot of character again in the side to come to a place like Walsall, so where they're needing points. To come away with the 3 points, that's all we're worried about at this precise moment.
Andy, another 2 for you, and both set up by this fellow, weren't they?
Yeah. I'll send Rob a big Christmas present, I think. But he's done really well for me today. Got 2 good crosses in, and you know, that's what strikers live off, and it was brilliant for me today.
How much did you enjoy your return to this part of the country?
Well, the fans here seemed to take to me, didn't they? It's given me a good reception. But yeah, it's just nice to come back up here. But obviously, no relation with Walsall, but another club just down the road. But yeah, it was just a fantastic result for us to keep going.
John, can I ask you, I mean, for all the club's experience in the last couple of years, do you think everyone's a little more streetwise now?
Yeah, that's right. I wouldn't say it's streetwise, we just know what it's all about in this division, and we've got to stick in there. As I say, it's not easy to come to places like this, and we had the taste of what we want, where we want to be last year, and that's where we want to carry on going. As I say, and we're striving for that. I don't think Kerrs will be too happy, as I say, because we played better. But at this precise moment in the league, we just want 3 points, and as I say, how you get them doesn't really matter.
Well, John, you're our nationwide man of the match, so Andy, do you want to do us the compliment?
Cheers, Andy. Thank you very much. Cheers.
12th successive win. They're now 12 points clear at the top of the First Division. They are not going to be stopped, are they?
Not at all, no. I thought they played well. Walsall, kept them, pushing them all the way, but I think they just had that little bit of class that they could really go down the other end and maybe score a goal. And all round, defensively, they looked a bit shaky at times defensively, but up front and in midfield they worked so hard and created many chances, so they look like they're going to really walk away with it.
How do you think Ray Graydon will gauge Walsall's performance tonight, Ray?
I think out of any game, and defeats as well, Marcus, you can gain some positives as well. I thought Dean Kiely had a super game in goal for Charlton, so it just goes to show how much pressure Walsall were actually putting on Charlton in the second half. And they had a number of opportunities where they could have got back in the game. But as you quite rightly said, as soon as they scored, they couldn't hold on to it for 5 minutes. Back up the other end with Charlton, and they scored themselves. So it was always going to be a tough night for them. Purely and simply the fact that Charlton can score goals from all over the field. And I thought Walsall fitted themselves quite well, I've got to say.
Nice touch from Ricketts there, but you were angry that he didn't get into the box afterwards.
Well, once forward players have done their business outside the box, we just saw him coming into the box there. They've got to get in the box and create aggravation for the ball coming back in. And he's a big lad, and I thought he was quite impressive at times.
Well, this was the key moment, or so we thought early on, as far as Walsall were concerned.
Definite
no complaints about the penalty.
Definite penalty. And it was just the start that Walsall deserved. They started very brightly, but the only problem was they didn't hold on to this lead for very long. Mark Robbins put it straight down the middle. It wasn't the best of penalties, but it went in. Dean Kiely unlucky there. But the thing is, they go straight down the other end. Lovely header from Hunt. Some good work from Robertson coming inside 2 markers. And this is a wonderful ball, curling ball with pace, far post, and there's Hunt rising above Viveash, and it's a good, very, very good goal.
It was the other side of the coin, Marcus, because when Powell played the ball forward, it was Hunt that got the header initially out to Robinson, and then he ends up in the box to put it in the back of the net. And I think he's 29, young Ricketts is only 21, so he's got a lot to learn, but let's hope he learns quickly. That's another great goal there from Hunt.
His 20th league goal of the season, some campaigns for him.
Very good game. Great ball in from Robinson. Good movement across the face of the defender and in the back of it.
And after that, well, they could have had 3 or 4 more before half-time.
Yeah, but Kinsella's run such a long way here. Sean Newton picks him out. It's a good header as well. He's picked his spot. It's gone off the inside of the post. But what a great run. You can't see him in the picture here. Goes back to Newton. He made a run from the halfway line to get there and knock that in. But Walsall kept plugging away and had their chances.
Yeah, because we written them off at half-time, hadn't we? And yet there was that opportunity soon into the second period.
Stretching for it, Matias there. Good ball from Ricketts. But, the commitment, the spirit of Walsall, if they can keep that up, then they've got a chance of staying up. Sean Newton could have wrapped the game up there, actually. Good save from Walker, or double save from Walker.
Yeah, no complaints from a neutral point of view, certainly. And we've still got one of the misses of the season to come as well, courtesy of Mr. Pringle, haven't we?
Well, this was good play from Ricketts. There's a great save there from Dean Kiely. Great save. He just gets an opportunity to use his pace, knocks it past him. Probably on his weaker side, the left side. And Kiely making a good save.
He does look outstanding for £1 million.
Yeah, but this was coming at that stage. Walsall were having a lot of pressure. Good ball to the back stick. And Viachos at the far post, good header from him.
He gets up well, doesn't he?
It's a fantastic header, for sure. A really good lead. Climbing over the back of everybody.
But almost inevitably, Charlton went up the other end and did this.
Get a little bit of luck here as well. Kinsella coming in on the edge of the box, gets the deflection, And there it is, he whips it on the half volley back into the far corner. And James Walker had no chance. So we got a little touch there. It was a poor ball in from Hunt, but a little bit of luck that you need when you're flying high, and it's in the back of the net.
We were looking to see if that was offside as well, but it wasn't.
This
is miss of the season so far.
It is, isn't it? Try and think of a reason as to why he did that, Ray.
He's probably been watching me, Marcus, that's why he missed it.
I wouldn't have a clue, Marcus.
I think he thinks he's scored before he's put it in the back of the net. He's going to run away and celebrate without putting the ball in the back of the net properly.
That will haunt him for a long time to come. Just as he's falling asleep tonight, it'll come back into his mind.
He'll just be pleased that they've got the 3 points, I think. But Walsall kept plugging away, but just couldn't get that third goal to put a little bit of pressure on Charlton at the end.
And Lee Hughes on target at the Hawthorns. And this is what it means as far as the table is concerned. Swindon still bottom, Port Vale remain 23rd, Portsmouth down into 22nd after losing, Walsall down to 21st, West Brom climbed 2 to 20th, Crewe, Crystal Palace, Nottingham Forest all unchanged, Tranmere and Stockport slipped, so did Norwich, Sheffield United up 1 to 13th. Queen's Park Rangers play tomorrow at Manchester City. Grimsby are now 11th. Bolton stay where they were. Likewise, Blackburn. Wolves slip behind Fulham up to 7th and now just 1 point behind Huddersfield. Then it's Birmingham, Barnsley, Manchester City, Ipswich up to 2nd. But as I say, City play at Main Road tomorrow night. And Charlton now 12 points clear. And they've played a game less than Ipswich as well. Well, let's go back to our live game at the Bescot. 3 more points for Charlton. Alan Kirbishley, the Charlton manager, is waiting to talk to us. He's with Alan Bentley.
Alan, the bandwagon rolls on, but how happy were you with the performance tonight?
Well, I mean, it's hard for me to pick holes when they've gone on 1-4-2, but, you know, they know and we know that we haven't played as well as we can, but you've got to do the job, and the finishing was excellent. I think they gave it their best, Walsall, and 1 or 2 things popped down for them, but we managed to get there. But when it popped down to us, we finished, except for Martin Pringle's one, obviously.
Without being presumptuous, what would it mean to you to go up as champions this season?
Well, I've been saying all along, we just want to go up. I think that you know, this run is incredible, and we're breaking all sorts of records. But in all fairness, you know, we've just been concentrating on that game, and then we're going to, you know, we've got Swindon this Saturday, and that's the way we've been. I don't think that any of us have thought anything more than we just want to go up. I'm not talking about champions, you know, second to do us, but we just want to get there.
How difficult is it to grind out results week in, week out? Is there a bit of mental pressure there?
Yeah, because, you know, certainly when, you know, we're having this run, and I think that the expectation level is that much greater for us. And the teams behind us, you know, up until this weekend, every time we won, they matched us. So, no, we know, we've been there before, and I've got experienced players there now, and we know there's a long way to go, but we're inching our way towards it, and that's all we can do.
Thanks for talking to us, Alan. Cheers.
Well, naturally, he won't admit to anything yet, but their next game is at home to Swindon, who did win tonight, but you'd have thought Charlton will make it 13 successive wins at the weekend, and then they go to Manchester City in a live game. Very briefly, are Walsall going to survive, Nigel?
I hope so. If they show that commitment they showed against Charlton tonight, yeah.
Ray?
Yes.
Good. They'll appreciate that. Guys, thank you very much indeed. We're back on Friday, Swansea and Northampton. For now, from us all, it's goodbye.
You say it's solid poetry, it's what you want to see, some sensuality when you cry. I just can't prove you wrong, I just play along. I guess it turns you